Hello, I'm Dr. Randall Bell, and we're here to talk about empathetic communication with my favorite Suzanne Wilcox. And this whole exhibit came from when you were here. We were talking about these concepts, brainstorming on the whiteboard over here for hours trying to put this together. But let's talk about empathetic communication and what that all kind of means. This is kind of the graphic I think we kind of built this together, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I love it. At first it looks like a lot there, but it breaks down pretty simple. So how would you like to explain it?
So the first thing I want to do is give credit to our source, because I got a lot of my information from a book about nonviolent communication. I think it's called Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenthal. Something, I'm pretty sure I got that right. And so if you study nonviolent communication, he built his career in educating people and also helping people negotiate conflict. I just want to explain the core of this system is all about resolving conflict and communicating people's needs.
Okay, so needs are at the center, and these are needs that we all need. I mean, we all have these needs: to play, to have comfort, community, equality, belonging, peace, love. These are all needs everybody has. Am I right about that?
Yes, and what I love about this diagram that we came up with together is that at the core are the needs, because everyone has needs and they're all very similar, they're the same. Surrounding the needs, we have feelings and emotions, and anytime we feel a feeling or emotion, it's a reflection on a need that's being met or not being met. So we can think of our feelings and our emotions as these fabulous communicators to help us know if we're getting our needs met. So that's really what I love about this, is that when we're looking at the feelings, they're just ways of communicating the needs.
Okay, so on the right side, we put all the negative stuff. And on the left side, we have all the positive thing. But needs are neither negative or positive. We just simply have them. It's a way of getting our needs met. And there's a negative way of getting them met and a positive way. Does that kind of frame the whole thing correctly?
Yes, and I like using certain language when we're doing this, because there's so much power in language. Language has so much power. So I'm just going to language how I like to language that. And that is to say that when we're trying to get our needs met and we're feeling a feeling that's helping us know if our need needs to be met, the feeling is telling us this need has not been met, or this need has been met. Then when we identify that we want our need to be met, that's called a strategy. And some strategies are really negative and they're not serving us at all and they're causing destruction in our lives. And some strategies are positive and they work for us, and wow, I just tried that strategy and I got my need met. So I'm just really liking that we can see some strategies that are going to maybe help us get our needs met in positive ways, and when we're in a situation we can kind of decide, oh, if that didn't work out so well, maybe I need to find a different strategy.
Okay, so last night, true story, we go through this ritual every week with, my son Drake, getting him to take the trash out. I had a need for cleanliness of my house, our house, I should say, and he has this chore to take the trash out, and he felt like he had other priorities. He didn't want to take the trash out. So we kind of, had our, weekly ritual of, can you take the trash out? And it's like, this place is a mess kind of conversation. Explain that and how that could go better.
So I'm just going to guess that when your need for having a clean house wasn't met, that you went into a feeling.
Yeah, I did.
So that feeling was an opportunity for you to realize, I'm not getting my need for cleanliness met. And then that moved into a strategy. Right. And I'm just going to guess that your strategy was, I'm going to come down hard on Drake, because if I come down hard on Drake, then he's going to figure out that I need to have this need met and he'll take out the trash.
That was pretty accurate.
And I'm going to guess that it didn't work out so well.
He took out the trash, but he wasn't real happy about it.
Okay, and there was some conflict, and then he was having his own feelings because it's based on his own needs.
Right.
So this is an opportunity for you to identify what your need is and express it in a way that's not judgmental, and then also tap into if you choose to show empathy in that situation towards him, you might identify what his need is at that moment. And then there's a way to come together, because when you're communicating your need in a healthy way and you're able to identify his need in a healthy way, then all the judgment can just go away. And all the strategies for, getting my needs met in a way that's not working for me can go away.
Okay. So here's some negative comments like, this place is a mess, and you never listen, and why are you always late? How would you take this need, which I think we agree, we want a nice clean house and we want the trash taken out so the place doesn't start stinking. That's an important need. How do you reframe that in a positive way going to this left side?
So I just want to really reinforce right now that judgment is not serving us.
Okay.
Judgment is not our friend. I mean, we're always in judgment at some point in our life because we're human and that's what humans do. But really, when we can learn not to be in judgment, we're doing ourselves a huge favor. So when you're in judgment and you're saying to Drake, you never listen, this place is a mess, it's not serving you, it's not serving him. Mostly it's just making him more frustrated and you more frustrated. When you can step out of the judgment and just say, if you're going to language to him, you're not going to judge the situation. You're just going to say exactly what it is that is happening. Drake, I am noticing that you haven't taken out the trash yet, and I have a need for cleanliness, and that's making me feel agitated and upset and stressed out because that need's not being met. Mm-hmm. And now this is the opportunity for you to make a request. Would you be willing to take out the trash in the next 10 minutes so that meets my need for cleanliness? And now that's a strategy. You've identified a strategy to ask him for him to take out the trash, and then that strategy may or may not work, and then you'll have an opportunity to make a new strategy. But that's a way to communicate it without the judgment with saying, this place is always a mess, you never listen to me, and going into the judgment, which is not a pretty place to hang out.
You know, it's interesting because I've been learning from you, and I've been trying to kind of actually implement it. And I have to confess, I kind of dialed it up on the drama side, because last night I did kind of, do this. And I said, Drake, I know I said, I had some empathy. And I said, yeah, I know you're tired, and you got other things you'd rather do. But, the trash man comes really early, and if we don't get it out, we're going to miss it. And then the garage smells. So, can you kind of help me out with there? And he did, and he came back, and it was kind of cool. So these techniques actually really work. We have had conversations in the red zone. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to make it, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. But lately, our conversations have more been green zone. In fact, I'm going home now, and his bed's been made without being asked. It's really good stuff because he's a great kid. And all kids are great. All kids want to do, well in life. And if you talk to them a little differently, you can get just much better results. Kind of like you have in the Wilcox home. I'm sure every day you tell me.
I'm not, my kids still don't make their beds as much as I'd like, but I do think that the communication thing is really key because it gives us an opportunity to decide, to identify what our needs are, and then to create a strategy that's healthy and how to get that need met.
So some examples are, just positive affirmations like he's a great guy or she's a great girl.
So this is a really good illustration of what judgment looks like in the positive. But okay. I'm still going to hold strong to my idea that judgment doesn't serve us. And just as it doesn't serve us in the red, it doesn't really serve us in the green. Because if I start to believe the messages that people tell me that are all green, then I'm probably going to start to believe the messages that people tell me that are all red. So really, I stay out of the judgment on both sides. So, for example, if I wanted to give someone some really positive feedback, instead of saying, this group is amazing, I could say something that's not a judgment. I could say a fact. I like this group and it makes me feel good because it meets my need for community.
Okay.
And when I'm in this group and my need for community is met, I feel so happy and refreshed and grateful. And did you notice how that doesn't feel like a judgment? It just feels like a very genuine expression of heartfelt gratitude. And so I'm just going to propose that just like I would stay out of judgment in the red, I'm going to stay out of judgment in the green because green starts to feel like false praise. But this helps me stay need-centered and really focused on my feelings and needs rather than the judgment of this is a great guy, this is a good run, and I really like what we're doing. This guy is so cool. I just feel like there's value when we just stay out of judgment.
So right now, as we kind of wrap this up, I don't say, great, Suzanne, you're wonderful. I say, this is really valuable information, and it really helps me kind of put life, together in a more positive way. Do I get that right?
Yes, and that makes me feel so good. And I just want to thank you, Randy, because I'm feeling very grateful, and being with you has met my need for connection.
Boom. All right, well, hopefully you feel the same way. Core IQ is all about the skills we need in life and in business. in our families, organizations, but we're not necessarily taught in school. So you come to Core IQ to kind of learn these things, expand our minds with these skills. You know, this is great stuff. Hopefully you can like it, share it, and keep watching more and more episodes as we all build our Core IQ. Thanks for watching.